Dun-na-na-na-nun, 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 do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. This has been my pitch perfect, faithful rendition of the Charles Guadalupe Trio's Charlie Brown Christmas. It's my favorite Christmas music. Welcome back to the Smoking Puck, your weekly Boston-based hockey show. That's right. Drop your Glocks and grab your smocks. Peace time. Peace. This is a safe space for all of us. Hockey sure ain't one. On the ice, that is. It is Reverend Sully here. Eric O'Sullivan here at the Reverend Sully Network. You have reached the Eric O'Sullivan channel. You might have seen me on other channels, namely Wes's Thinking Critical's Saturday show, The Comics Aficionados. If you are showing up from that show, welcome. We're talking about hockey. This is my hockey show. I am a lifelong hockey fan. I am a born and bred Bostonian. My colors are black and gold. My spirit animal is a brown bear. I seen double yet? Oh yeah. How you doing? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hanukkah's starting. And may peace envelop the world at this axial time, all faiths and religions. I'm a spiritual guy, Reverend Sully, ordained on the internet, March 31st, 1998, 11:50 p.m., 10 minutes before April Fool's Day, which was my grandfather's favorite holiday. He would call and prank us first thing in the morning. Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go and catch it. Hey, Waka Waka. I've actually used that one a few times. You know what I mean? You call up a family member, like, I heard you had a blackout last night. You check your fridge. Is it running? Like, yes. Well, you better catch it. Wah, 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 wah. You think you're so funny. I am just an acorn to my family tree. And yeah, Boston sports fan. Seriously, it runs in the family. This is a picture of me and my mom in 1999 at Fenway Park watching a Red Sox game. And being sports matters in Boston. They do. And I've given me the choice. Why do we gravitate to one, certain things? It's like if we have a pecking order of the top 5, let's call it a top 5, out of respect for soccer, men's professional sports. I mean, I'm all love to the ladies and all luck to them as well. Seriously, it's the WNBA stuff is pretty interesting to watch, as in demands for pay when, it's a different job market kind of thing. It's weird, just what activism and, platforming and demands for equality. Well, isn't there equity over there, in scale? We've talked about this before in the channel here and there. So I'm only vaguely enlightened about what is the equity, the lack of equity in scale, for, I don't know, just, it's best to stay out of such conversations. It really is, because this is a hockey show and money talks. And especially in this, I think we're in year 20 of the salary cap era of the NHL. And for every year that goes by, that salary cap rises. And with the 50-50 revenue split that negotiated between the players union and the owners for the past 20 years, half of that can be spent on talent. And half of that, those billions of dollars. So the salary cap for this year is about $95 million. And you spend that over 24 players, 26 with your call-ups. And you know what I mean? I don't know everything when it comes to the ins and outs of the money puck of this, I know that the Bruins, I've only began to curate, some mind space to try to understand it. I mean, because what does that have to do with shoot, skate, hit him? Shoot, skate, hit him. That's like the chant of the gallery of the upper balcony of the Boston Garden. Denizens of the cheap seats, the blue collar fans who wear the shirts and buy the subscriptions for the cable TV, local sports network. I got Nesson. It charges me up the wazoo for Nesson, but I don't miss any. I get all the home games and all the friggin'. They only have like Red Sox and Bruins hockey, Red Sox baseball, Bruins hockey, and then like college sports and fishing shows and so it's and advertisements for it used to be Dunkin' Donuts and their own local sports show too. If they were really New England sports network, it would sucker me in. AHL hockey and ECHL hockey. We have teams, and we have lots of teams in New England. We do. There's the Worcester Railers. There are the I think it's the Hartford Wolfpack. This is AHL, American Hockey League teams. There is they're the Providence Bruins, and then there's up in Maine, in Portland, Maine, the East Coast Hockey League have the former Portland Pirates, the Maine Mariners. There's hockey everywhere. Does Manch Vegas still have a team? I went and saw years ago during, I think it was during the 4-5 shortened season because of the lockout and the players negotiation, and hence the salary cap era, that the drastic techniques of the players union, holding out and then meeting the owners lockout, but what that negotiation led to, it led to what we're in right now, the salary cap era. And for every year that goes by, so next year the salary cap is projected to be, I think, about $115 million. And in 2 years from now, and in 3 years from now. So when you see these teams signing young players for 7-8 years at $7 million, that $7 million 5 years from now is going to be wicked cheap because of that, because of the patch on the helmet and the jersey, the corporate thing. That adds so much revenue to that split. So that that annoys the hell out of me, seeing the advertisements on Major League Sports jerseys. I hope that's just a trend and we go back to label free. I mean, just geez, this isn't NASCAR. It's not European hockey. European hockey, you see ads all over those shirts and helmets. That's very European. I know. It's like everyone's nationality when they're standing at the urinal between period breaks. You're European. But waka waka. Welcome back to the Smoking Puck, your Boston-based hockey show. And smash that like button. Hit that hype button if you could. Leave a comment. Be part of this ongoing hockey conversation. Now, the part of this being weekly, it gets dated very quickly. Listen, this kind of content is the opposite of evergreen. This has a very short shelf life. This is topical. This is gossamer. This is transitory. This is fleeting. This day in hockey. We're recording this on a Sunday to be published on a Monday. In between, the stats change. In between, players get traded. Such as last week when we were talking about where are the big trades. Well, guess what, Sully? You asked the sky. You said, demand me flesh for the temples. The stadium. And there were two big trades. The Edmonton Oilers traded their goalie, Stuart Skinner, to the Pittsburgh Penguins for their goalie, Tristan-Jarry. And also, I think a defenseman, too. We're going to look it up. Don't worry. I have to start sharing screens and stuff. Okay, this one's great because this is what sums it up. This is the Skinner-for-Jarry trade in a GIF format. This isn't that great? I love that. This is words. I mean, a picture has 1,000 words, and this is just, that's wonderful. This is the spirit of Skinner-for-Jarry. Now, with Edmonton being, as of today, they're in 4th place. They're in 36 points, and they're only 5 points behind the leaders, the Golden Knights. They got 41 points. Everyone's played about 31 to 33 games so far in the season. And I mean, the Oilers have gone to the Stanley Cup twice in the past 2 years, and a lot of that had to do with Stuart Skinner. Now you've traded Stuart Skinner to the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, in my humble opinion, have been on some kind of resurgence. Now, it's weird because the Metropolitan Division in the Eastern Conference has 8 teams. That's a lot of... We're going to get into that, too, in my hot take series here. Stick a pin in that, as my therapist says, about the size of these divisions. And also their friggin' stupid names. I think it's the Chicken Marketing's fault. But the Penguins are in 6th place with 36 points, and they're 6 points out of first place. There is a logjam in the Metropolitan Division. Even the Blue Jackets, 32 games played, they're 13 wins, 13 losses, and 6 overtime losses. That's an overtime loss. Getting to overtime gets you 1 standings point. Winning the overtime gets you that 2nd win point. Winning the shootout gets you that 2nd win point. But both teams get 1 point for entering overtime. And so everyone in the Metropolitan Division is at 500 hockey. That's interesting. And the Atlantic Division is really close behind it. The Sabres, who are in last place with 13 games, they're at 13 wins, 14 losses, and 4 overtime losses. They need 1 more win just to hit 500. And then that means everyone on the Eastern Conference is at 500. That's 500 hockey. That's like, wow, that's kind of impressive. It asks questions too. Like, I'm asking, where is the nerfing going on? I mean, how are teams this good? Has the talent level been kind of diluted so much with expansion and the distribution of talent? Like I keep on coming back to, are there really 100 elite athletes in a pool of basically 750? You know, that's an overestimation. I think it's literally 736, because that's 32 teams times 23 players that you can have active on your team all at once. Hello, I'm not that bad at math. Yes, you are, Sully. Yes, you are. But really, let's look. Jarry Skinner trade. Jarry Skinner trade. Kulak. Skinner. Let's share this tab instead. Let's look at the hockey. Let's look at the NHL.com. Why not? This is a hockey show, a multimedia approach, coming to you from our Boston studios here in the Boston area, in the gateway to the South Shore here in Quincy, Massachusetts. It's not Quincy. Quincy was a medical examiner. That's Jack Klugman. Quincy. Stuart Skinner was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins by the Edmonton Oilers on Friday for Tristan Jarry. In a swap of goalies, Pittsburgh also received from Edmonton Brett Kulak and a 2nd round pick in the 2029 NHL draft. Edmonton received forward Samuel Poulin, who is currently in the American Hockey League. I think it's not so much a comment on Skinner. It's just, we really needed something different here, said Stan Bowman, the GM of Edmonton. But I think we wanted to make sure that the person we were bringing in, we felt confident. And so it goes. But Kulak has 2 assists in 31 games, selected by Calgary in the 4th round. The 31-year-old. Yes, there we go. there's some hockey talk. And I know that Tristan Jarry started last night for Edmonton. I think he won. So good for you. Good for you. Good for you, Pikachu. Good for you, Pikachu. I think it's going to be in. This is a better deal for Pittsburgh. Remember, this is just my opinion and my interpretation of hockey news, what's going on. Pittsburgh is playing good hockey. They have a great team with the most consistent veteran leadership in Chris Letang, Evgeny Malkin, and Sidney Crosby, who have been playing together literally 20 years together on the same team. They've also won Stanley Cups together. I think they've won 3. Penguins' recent cups. Yeah, in 2009, and followed by back-to-back wins in 2016 and 2017. And these are all Stanley. These are all Letang, Malkin, Crosby, and a lot of that had to do with Marc-Andre Fleury as well, and those amazing squads that they cobble together, and coaches, and just that Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Penguins this year, I think, got the X factor in Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner was the backstop of the Oilers for the past 2 Stanley Cup Finals runs. I mean, he is by definition an elite goalie, right? If there are 100 elite players in a team, I mean, that makes, like 1/3 of that almost goalies. And would it proper, would it be another 3rd forwards and another 3rd defenseman? Would that be proper and fair? Is that equity in the statistics? Does equity matter in the statistics? I'm still having the most difficult time wrapping my head around the expected statistic. It's like I've asked Grok to explain it to me like a 5-year-old several times already. What did Grok say to me? Let's look. Because it has a history. It reminds you of whataboutism? Oh, guess I didn't save it. The hockey rink size over in Milan. Jeez. Ain't that a kick? That's still going on. I mean, it opens in February, but they can't fix it now. Huh? Happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Is Kwanzaa still a thing? I hope so, if you celebrate. Also, the winter solstice is coming up, too. That means it's going to be officially the first day of winter on, I believe, the 31st. The 21st winter solstice 2025 is on Sunday, December 21st at 10:03 a.m. Eastern. That would be 15:03 Zulu. Synchronize your chronometers. We will sacrifice a Jimmy Dean sage sausage, some pancakes to Wintermas. But yeah, all of these holidays that take place on the 21st, because it's the longest night in the year, and the sun starts coming back. Mother Nature starts waking up, which she will in total at the vernal equinox. Yeah. There you go. A little bit of, what does this have to do with trades? But the Glenn Hughes trade. Let me just finish. Oh, yeah. Stuart Skinner. I think Jerry, he's starting goaltender. There's a glut of goaltending, over 32 teams. That's 3 goalies basically for every team in a way. You have your starter, your backup, and then like your backup's backup, your 3rd string goalie, who shuttles, between the AHL and the team when needed. Some teams usually just carry 2 goalies if they're healthy. Some teams have signed way too many players. And, and we're seeing a lot of that when you see goalies move like that, but those are two veterans, and that was pretty much an even swap. But I see this working out in Pittsburgh's advantage. I will say it right now. The Pittsburgh Penguins might win the Stanley Cup this year because they added such an X factor in Stuart Skinner, someone who's been to back-to-back Stanley Cups, who's lost back-to-back Stanley Cups. And it's not. I honestly felt like, that the problems what's going on in Edmonton right now were not Stuart Skinner's fault. Because it's a team sport. It's like this is a lot more moving pieces than you could always like. This was a statement though that we needed to shake the team up and and just try a new like a fresh hand at this. Still, hey, we got you you can't blame the goaltending because it's like if we continue to lose, it's like we had an all-star goalie. We got you an all-star goalie in return for this. If you're still losing after this, we're going to work out. It's a long time until March. That's when the trade deadline is. And if, in the NHL, it's the top 3 teams in each division or in each conference. And then the next 3, what the hell is it? It's 3 in each division. So that's 6. So you get, and the next 2 get points for the wild card. And that's the, second season. That's all that matters is getting to the playoffs. Because you have half of the league reports to the playoffs. Oh, gee, there it is. I hit pause. Let's talk about Quinn Hughes too. Which is a bigger deal. Quinn Hughes won the Norris Trophy in 2024. Quinn Hughes was the captain of the Vancouver Canucks for the past 2 seasons. But the Vancouver Canucks, you might want to enjoy put downs that rhyme with Canucks. They are in the basement of the league. They are 32 of 32. They are not looking too good right now. They are, with 31 games played, there are 11 wins, 17 losses, and 3 overtime losses of 25 standings points. So they're in dead last. And remember, Vancouver is part of the Canadian 7. Those are the 7 teams of Canada. Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, Edmonton, and Ottawa. And so it's a big deal to be in NHL. Out of the 32 teams, 7 are Canadian, the birthplace of hockey. So we have the original 6 of hockey antiquity and history. We also have the current Canadian 7. So, and the Flames are in second to last place. They're in 7th place in the Pacific Division with 8 teams in the Pacific Division. And there's probably going to be an expansion by the 2027-28 season. We're going to see 2 more teams. More than likely, it's going to a 34. That means revenue increases. That means the salary cap is only going to increase. And that means 60, it's at least 23, 46. There's 50 more players in the players union. And would that be about 6 more elite players that we have to add on to the heap, to be proportional with the rest of the league? Or can there be 100 elite players in a league at one time? I thought elite meant something. You can have all-star players, man, but elite players? Maybe we need to start watching our vocabularies a bit more in our descriptors. Elite, when I think elite, I think Wayne Gretzky. I think Gordie Howe. I think Grant Fuhr. I think Patrick Roy. I think, Raymond Bourque. Eddie Shore, old-time hockey. How would I know Eddie Shore? But an elite player, they're better than an all-star. So I think that there's a commodification of the language that's just being pushed, and I just think elite player is such an inappropriate. It's not an appropriate terminology for the 100 players. We could have all-stars. Yeah, all-stars are a different, because then you have lesser lights, what we call, underneath them. I think it was Derek Sanderson in the broadcast booth of WSBK TV 38 Boston on home and away games for the Bruins before it went to the cable subscription format, and Derek would call them, not the highlights, what I mean? Not the superstars, but the lesser lights, which like the population, the grinders, the plumbers, the jobbers, the workers, the myrmidons, so that would be a good name for you have a big old ant as your crest, a worker ant. But the Canucks are in last place, and maybe that has to do with Quinn Hughes' leadership as a captain as well. Maybe he was drafted by the Canucks. He's been there for 7 years or so. He's in his last 2 years, a year and a half of a contract. He's an unrestricted free agent after this. So why not try to get as much with him as possible, while they can. Quinn Hughes trade. What happened in the Quinn Hughes trade? Once again, let's look at NHL.com. Share this tab instead. Let's do it. Roll that beautiful bean footage, Pikachu. Indeed, we have the Hughes traded to Wild, the Minnesota Wild by Canucks in a blockbuster deal. So this is what we've been waiting for. And there were a few different teams that were in the contention. Pierre LeBrun had tweeted this, and New Jersey was one of the teams, one of the 6 teams mentioned in that, like the teams that seriously went, for Quinn Hughes the other day. It happened very quickly, but the rumor mill on Twitter was just started churning about Thursday or so. Teams are Vancouver's talking, Quinn. And so the big thing is to reunite Quinn with his other 2 brothers, Luke and Jack, in New Jersey with the Devils. So, is this just a temporary deal? But there's one player, but this is one of the best, perhaps the best defenseman in the NHL, and the captain of a team, someone with killer stats. I was watching some shows this morning, like Hockey Psychology, great show. I also watch Eckhart's Ladder. He's got some great shows and small format too, like 3-minute, just like shows. And I'm just like, wow, this is good. I mean, those two have some great insight. I like watching their stuff. You should subscribe to both of their channels. Quinn Hughes was traded to the Minnesota Wild by the Vancouver Canucks on Friday. Vancouver received forwards Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, and defenseman Zeev Buium, and a first-round pick in the 2026 NHL draft. And Vancouver kind of needs that, geez, you're in last place. You might have some rebuilding to do. Bringing a player like Quinn here, you just don't get opportunities all that often, said Wild general manager, former Bruin and 2-time 7th player award-winning Billy Guerin, said Saturday. Marco Rossi, Zeev Buium, Liam Ogren, all great kids, great players with bright futures. Definitely hard to part with guys you draft, develop, and spend time with. You get to know them, their families. But like I said, when a player of Quinn's caliber comes available and you have an opportunity to get him, there's cost to it, and we're willing to do what it takes. Quinn Hughes, 26-year-old defenseman, Vancouver captain, was in his 8th season with the Canucks. He was been the captain since Bo Horvat left. Former captain. He's with the Horvat's with, succeeding with the Islanders now. It's like going back to being a Canadian 7 team, you have a higher expectation playing for a Canadian team. There are only a few fandoms more psychotic and rabid than Boston Red Sox fan. Red Sox Nation may have invented toxic fandom if it wasn't for the blues and the greens of Roman chariot racing all the way back in ancient Rome days. Look it up, read that, look that one, put that in your pipe and smoke that puck. But, just like Vancouver, when the Bruins won in 2011 in the city of Vancouver, the Stanley Cup, that, win or lose, that city was going to explode. And there were cars set on fire and they were rioting. And I understand heartbreak, and this is group, this is mob rule stuff. The psychology of crowds kind of stuff. I mean, why? I mean, we had plenty of Red Sox Nation stuff. I mean, it was like, oh gosh, like just like winning championships, over time and getting, but we didn't set anything on fire. No. He is in the 5th season of a 6-year contract. He signed and he become an unrestricted free agent after the 26-27 season. He won the Norris Trophy last year. Oh, in the 23-24 season, after 92 points. That's part of Quinn Hughes' big game. He knows how to enter the zone. He knows how to leave the zone. He leads in takeaways. He leads. He's got a great shot, from the blue line. He's got leadership. He's got tough. I mean, Minnesota's in the middle of their own. They're in 3rd place with 41 points. I mean, no one's going to catch the Avalanche unless, barring a total prolapse somewhere in Colorado, injuries. Look what happened to the Bruins. I mean, they had a nigh perfect team, and then something collapsed inside the locker room, and then we had Bloody March 2025, where we traded away 7 players, including our captain, Brad Marchand, who is an elite player. Is Brad Marchand an elite player? Let me know in the comments section. Continue this hockey conversation in the comment section. You are welcome to. Guaranteed fresh 1 week. 1 whole week, this conversation should remain fresh. But the Wild, are definitely, are going to be jousting with the Stars for 2nd place in the Central. The Wild are playoff bound as of right now. So Quinn Hughes is definitely going to take that leadership and those stats of his and his great hockey style. Hopefully, he's going to be he's on a better team, better led, and just with a better future. But will he stay in Minnesota? Probably not. Maybe we're all rooting for the Hughes brothers reunion. It's like the Jonas Brothers on ice, but with fighting. Maybe I don't know. Is there any fighting at a Jonas Brothers show? I wouldn't know. I'm not throwing shade at the Jonas Brothers. They're very successful and talented, and they probably made their parents very proud. But yeah, that's the Hughes deal. Have I had this up all that time? Gee, sorry about that, kids. Thank you for watching The Smoking Puck. Awesome. What else is going on? Let's look at the show notes. My show notes, my Pikachu, my executive producer, makes copious amounts of show notes, and I'm here. I am just the talent. Okay, don't be confused. He runs the show. He writes the show. He's a cameraman. Just boom mic operator. I get any ombudsman. If you have any problems with the content, leave me alone. I don't give a shit. He's the man to talk to. The executive producer, Pikachu. Yeah, we've got trades. I can't read my own writing. Oh yeah, looking sharp. But also Matthews Arena in Boston, Massachusetts is closing. Matthews Arena, it was formerly Boston Arena, is a defunct multi-purpose arena in Boston, Massachusetts, currently owned by Northeastern University. At the time of its closure, it was the world's oldest multi-purpose athletic building still in use, as well as the oldest arena in use for ice hockey. The university plans to demolish the historic arena and replace it with a new facility. It is the original home of the National Hockey League's Boston Bruins, the only team of the NHL's original 6 whose original home arena still exists. The National Basketball Association's Boston Celtics, the World Hockey Association's New England Whalers, who moved to Hartford, Connecticut, became the Hartford Whalers, and then moved to North Carolina, to Raleigh, and became the Carolina Hurricanes. And it was used by the Northeastern Huskies men and women's ice hockey teams, the men's basketball teams, as well as various high school ice hockey programs in the city of Boston. Originally named Boston Arena, groundbreaking took place on October 11th, 1909, and it opened on April 25th, 1910. It closed on December 13th, on Saturday night, 2025. That was 115 years of service. It's interesting, too, because I have a little bit of history, my own history, with Matthews Arena, I guess. In 1991 and 1992, the 91-92 academic calendar, I was a freshman at Northeastern University, my one and only year in college. I failed miserably. I'm a smart guy, but I'm just a very poor student. Maybe I have an undiagnosed reading disorder or attention span thing. I mean, I'm a child of the 70s. We didn't have Ritalin back then. We had a leather strap and a broomstick. That's just life in the 20th century. Come on. We have to stop apologizing for the 20th century. We need to start apologizing for tomorrow. More like it. But so Matthews Arena, yeah, it's the old, and it's interesting too, because Matthews Arena, and it's down by Symphony, down by, that part of Mass Ave. What was next to Matthews Arena was the original Boston ball grounds, where the Boston Braves and the Boston Red Sox both got their home starts. The Boston Braves moved to Milwaukee, I believe, in the 1940s. Boston Braves. During its 82-year stay in Boston and Massachusetts, the Braves were a major league, they played from 1871 to 1952, and then moved to Milwaukee, became the Milwaukee Braves, then moved in 1966 to Atlanta to become the Atlanta Braves. And they played at the South End grounds from 1871 to 1914, and then at Braves Field, which is now Nickerson Field, down by Boston University, which is in another part of town, probably more down the street from Kenmore Square, home of Fenway Park, which is interesting. So the Braves and the Red Sox basically were literal neighbors in a way. If you look at an airline picture of Boston, you could see it, a straight line just cross town, probably about two neighborhoods. But before that, at the South End grounds, that was right next to where Matthews Arena was. So this is an area of Boston that's rich in sports history, and it's an end of an era. Matthews Arena. I remember, this is true, the freshman convocation, 1991 at Northeastern University. And I was witness and present in Matthews Arena. I remember being there and being enwrapped by her speech. I saw Maya Angelou present the convocation remarks. She was the keynote speaker about future and about potential and about hope and all about, it's just, what a wonderful individual, and just what inspiring words, but that's, and I've seen several hockey games there. I'm a huge hockey fan. U.S. college hockey is probably my least kind of favorite part of hockey. It's got everything to do with the full face masks and not letting them fight. It's they get their sticks up pretty high because of the, you got a protected jaw. At least the half shield of Canadian Major Junior all the way up to NHL. You know what I mean? You need to keep your stick down. You need to be cognizant to help protect your opponent, because they could be your teammate someday, and you want to ask them to do that to you too. Don't go like, headhunting or your jaw's exposed. Come on. Or do we need to adapt? Does hockey need to evolve? Does hockey need full face shields at this point? Ask Charlie McAvoy. Let's see where he goes. You know what I mean? Is there pressure not to play with a full face shield at the professional level and the minor pro level? Will you be ridiculed by fans and teammates? You know what I mean? Or the opposition? What does that mean? What does that mean for fighting? You know what I mean? You definitely can't have fisticuffs with someone with a full face shield, because you can't take your helmet off during fisticuffs. The helmet has to come off during the scuffle, and it can't be the intent of the player wearing the helmet. It could be my intent holding your fucking sweater and punching you in the head and just to rip the helmet off of you so I can get a clean shot at your noggin and not have to mess my hand up punching your helmet. Think about it. These are the dangers of hockey fighting. And but that's college hockey. That's like, I went to Northeastern University for a year. I saw Maya Angelou speak at Matthews Arena, and it was moving, and I remember it, and I will for the rest of my life. I've been present for several hockey games there. I had my college, that was my college year, my year at college. And it's Boston's oldest sports arena, and now it is gone. God bless. Namaste. Good luck to you, Matthews Arena. And thank you for your service to us all. 115 years old. Darn. Huh? What else is here on the thing? Did we talk about everything? Oh, we need to talk about hockey divisions. I said stick a pin on it, and I meant it. We're going to share this tab instead, and we're going to blow this up. I come to this site every day. It's Google. It's the Google Bruins page. I just, who are we playing tonight? Who are we playing this week? I'm very Bruins focused, but I'm like, on my Twitter, I have something called Hockey Stuff. And if you follow me on Twitter X at Rev Sully, that's for Reverend Sully, and at Rev Sully, REVSULLY, on Twitter X, come and follow me. But also you can partake of my Hockey Stuff list. You can check that out. And I have a very curated feed there, a timeline, full of hockey voices, different, it's different sources, some money puck stuff, some salary cup stuff. It is Bruins focused. And, but I pay attention to a lot of the hockey beat writers. And so it's a good source of information for me. But, coming up with this, so see, we have 32 teams in the NHL. So split that by 4. So you have 8 teams per division. So you have 16 teams per conference. We have an Eastern Conference. We have a Western Conference. Each conference is split into 2 divisions of 8 teams each. And it's my opinion, especially with 2 more teams, expansion is knocking at the door. It's basically a done deal. It's at this point, it's about, we have to be 2 to 3 years away from team. So from concept to arena to infrastructure to draft and to do expansion draft and to apparel and team logo and mascot name and everything and colors and all of the rigmarole and all the. You need 2 to 3 years to really go from concept and an announcement to a finished product that you can hey, we're opening the doors for an 84 game season. Remember, the league is going from an 82 game season this year back to an 84 game season, which we stopped in the 90s. But before that, there was an 84 game season, back in the 22 to 2016, peak of my young personhood. But we have 8 teams in each division. That's a lot. And so there's just, you could be on the outside looking in and miss it by that much just because of the way, the divisions are set up. So, going into the playoffs, 1, 2, and 3 get in. So that's 1, 2, 3 in the Atlantic, 1, 2, 3 in the Metropolitan. So that's 6 out of the 8 playoff spots. Playoff spots 7 and 8 are based upon points. So after 82 games are played, your amount of points will dictate, and whoever has the most points between both divisions in the conference, it then becomes a conference matter. It doesn't become 7 goes to 4th place, because then it would go to 4th place. No, it goes to, that's what makes it a wild card. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3 plus 2 wild cards. And it just like, I hate the names of the Atlantic Division. Red Wings are not in the Atlantic, near the Atlantic. Everyone else, like the Senators are pretty in, we have Miami, Montreal, we have Boston, we have Tampa. Isn't Tampa on the Gulf side anyway? The Gulf of America's side? Gulf of America's side? Gulf of... It's not on the Atlantic side. Detroit's on a Great Lake. So is Toronto and Buffalo. You mean the Great Lakes Division? You know what I mean? That would be interesting. But look at the Metropolitan Division. What an awful name. We used to have classy names. We used to have the Prince of Wales Conference versus the Campbell Conference. The East was the Prince of Wales Conference. The Campbell Conference was the Western Conference. The Mississippi River is the dividing line of the natural boundary between East and West. Inside each conference, we had, on the Prince of Wales division, we had the Adams division, and the Adams division. Oh gosh, I bet you're out there. Adams. Prince of Wales Conference. No, I don't want this. I want the old split. Don't give me your the Prince of Wales. Give me like old divisions. We had the Adams, so we were in the Adams division and the Norris division. All right, and the other one was the Smythe and the Patrick divisions. The conference was we were the Adams and the Patrick on this side. It was the Adams and the Norris until 1981. From 1974 to 1981, the Prince of Wales Conference had the Adams division and the Norris division when it was formed. A realignment in 1981 moved, and this was right after the 4 teams from the WHA, the World Hockey Association, was absorbed into the NHL after the failure of the WHA. It was Quebec City, Nordique, Winnipeg Jets, the Edmonton Oilers, and the New England Whalers, which became the Hartford Whalers. Then you also had expansion around there too, and moving teams. So this was like 81, where there was a realignment. The Norris division, I remember that Chicago was in that, Detroit was in that, St. Louis was in the Norris division, and then the Patrick division were like your West Coast teams, and some Canadian teams, Calgary, Vancouver, LA, San Jose didn't come about until 1991, But yeah, all of these names, who were Adams? That's Jack Adams. I know Norris, Clarence Campbell, the Prince of Wales, these are all, cis white patriarchy. It is in a way too. These are all historical people in hockey, and it was a verbal way to keep alive the history of hockey, or mnemonic devices. But yeah, so it's like these bloated divisions. And then over in the Western, we have the Central Division and the Pacific Division. All right, so the Pacific Division is kind of like very accurate. You've got 3 Californian teams, all on coast cities: Anaheim, Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, I mean, Calgary's a little inland, but Vancouver isn't. Vegas, yeah, you got to put them out there, you know. Edmonton's a little landlocked, sure. The Central Division, but like, I mean, these are like just, this is a cookie cutter names. We have to have such, I mean, the All-Star jerseys were so much cooler too. Our colors were orange and black, I guess. And like the Prince of Wales conference was like, you know, just man, you kids these days, old man shouts at cloud. But it's, from my humble opinion, it's my hot take that we need smaller divisions. We need more delineation. We need more local groupings. We need more rivalry. Rivalry comes from history and historical play. So the Bruins rivals are original 6 teams, specifically Montreal and New York, the Rangers. And you know, I mean, just, I think there's like, maybe there should be rivalry-based divisions. And you could have, and with expansion coming, 34 teams, you're going to have a 4-team division and a 5-team division until you once again expand to 36 teams. And then you can once again have either 10 team divisions. I mean, that's a lot. You have 5 and 5 and you have more rivalry based things. I mean, and then you can, you know, it makes season points a little, you know, I mean, a little more exciting. I don't have answers. All I have are more questions. But what I don't like is just like, it looks like bloat. It really does. And the names are charmless. And we used to have such a robust historical, you know, it wasn't about gatekeeping. It's about torch passing and about, it's like, do you know who Clarence Campbell is? Do you know who, like, who Jack Adams was? You know, just different things. Do you know who Esa Tikkanen was? Bob Probert. Know your history, kid. I know. But I'm a fan of, you know, good hockey, of intense hockey, of rivalry, of where points matter, and then you won't get this thing of like, well, like what? That's why I asked, what's nerfed around the way? How can every team in the Metropolitan be at 500 or above? I mean, don't they play each other enough? You know, or will that equalize and balance out after the midpoint season, after the Olympics? Remember, we're taking a whole month off in February to play in Milan, so NHLers can represent their country's teams for the first time since 2014. So this is, you know, it's pretty big. It's you know, but what does that do to the momentum of the teams? You know, when you come back from the Olympic break, what is it? You know, what does that mean for the minor leagues? You know, they're going to get this flood of, you know, player. Do they, or do you have to like keep? If you don't make your home, you don't make your national team, you just train. What are the lesser lights doing during the Olympic break? All these and more questions will be answered, you know, probably in February when we find out. And coming soon to an outdoor arena in Tampa Bay in February 2026 near you. We have the stadium series, the reveal of the 2026 Stadium Series jerseys. There are 2 outdoor games celebrating hockey. The Winter Classic, which is the New York Rangers visiting the Florida Panthers in Miami. An outdoor game, the Winter Classic. You know, so the technology has come so far. I mean, it'll be January in Miami, and you're going to play an outdoor hockey game. Impressive. And then in February, hosting are the Tampa Bay Lightning. And or as Mike Adams used to say back on Nesson Sports Desk, and the Tampa Bay Crud. And he had Bill Pito as his sidekick, and then Pito went to ESPN, and you know, and just all that stuff. Boston sports culture, dude. come and sign yourself up. But these are the reveals of the Bruins jersey. That's David Pastrnak. It's the sunshine motif. Oh, this is all chick for marketing shit to me. The sunshine motif. In addition to the primary gold color, the jersey features the embossed sun rays on the sleeves and on the hem loop labels, which also features the BOS, Boston's airport code, a nod to the Road Warriors. It's hard not to say that without a disdented S. It's football inspired, and that's part of it, because the Stadium Series is what it means. It's at a football arena using the capacity crowd of a football arena. So the like the Winter Classic usually goes for a retro kind of, or a nostalgic aesthetic to its uniforms. The Stadium Series does something a little different, usually bigger numbers and bigger logos, because it just imagine that you can see the players from the cheap seats in the stadium, or the stadia, which is the plural of stadiums. For real, the plural of stadium is stadia. You learn stuff by tuning into the Smoking Puck, so you should stop, drop, and giggle and subscribe to the Smoking Puck. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit that hype button, whatever that does. Once again, the chick for marketing strikes again. The main Boston word mark on the front of the jersey is akin to New England Patriots styling, an intentional nod to the game being hosted in an NFL football stadium, and features a lock-up treatment with the Bruins Crawling Bear logo. The Crawling Bear, traditionally a secondary brand asset, is bigger and more prominent for the Stadium Series. See all those distended S's, man. Jeez. This is the bear claw slash. Not just a kung fu move I learned at Taekwondo, that I do after work. Its one side shoulder features a new secondary mark, an iconic varsity B with a bear claw slash to signify the grit and toughness that has been synonymous with Bruins hockey for more than 100 years. The slash graphic element appears throughout the uniform, including on the jersey, helmet, and pants. Ooh. Love for New England. Here we go. The inside neck collar features abbreviations of the 6 New England states as a reminder that the Bruins are proud to represent their region, no matter where they play. Yeah, take that, Whalers fans. Well, you took that 30 years ago when your team left. And that is the thread of, and those are the Bruins Stadium Series jerseys. Yeah, will I be getting a Nikita Zadorov captain's jersey in that? No. See, this is a David Pastrnak third jersey. This is I forget which third jersey this. We have, being in Boston, we are every season we get 2 or 3 third jerseys, and being an original 6 team, so there's always something fashionable. We just changed our uniform, our primary home and road uniform kits again. So I mean, just we had those previous ones for a while, that went on for about almost 20 years. And so every 20 years or so, they change. Every generation gets their own shirts, and this is one of them. So this is before Pastrnak became an assistant captain. So this is a Bergeron era shirt, and it's a third jersey. Yeah, this is a Pastrnak jersey. And see, and not much. This is as basic as you can get. Seriously, it's kind of a little underwhelming, to be honest with you. There's nothing going on in this jersey except for I was in the mood to buy a jersey. This was the one that was the best of what was offered at the Bruins Pro Shop on that particular day. I was going to a game, and I just wanted to, I needed to bump up my wardrobe with a couple of more hockey jerseys. I love hockey jerseys. But will I be getting a Stadium Series Nikita Zadorov shirt? The answer might be no. I don't like it. I like a yellow jersey, like the reverse retros. I got a Brad Marchant reverse retro. from a couple of years ago, and back when I was a little bit slimmer too. So it's kind of like I don't wear it much because it's a snug fit. I should have got like get your hockey jersey a little bit loose. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the Stadium Series jerseys. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week for the Smoking Puck. Please like and subscribe, smash that like button, hit that hype button, leave a comment, be part of this hockey conversation in the comment section. Keep this conversation going. This show has a guaranteed freshness of usually 1 week. Because stats change, people get traded. Who's next to get traded? The NHL trade, the rumor mill. It just keeps percolating, and now things are starting to finally come to light. Teams that are looking to improve, teams that are looking to maybe shed salary and contracts. I mean, we'll see. And remember, the deadline is in March, and we have also the Olympic break. So this is 2025, 2026 is going to be an interesting year. I'm going to see if I eat penguin pie or not. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, like, I made a statement. I think that with the Stuart Skinner trade, I think that right now the Pittsburgh Penguins are poised to be Stanley Cup finalists, maybe even win it one last time with Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and now with Stuart Skinner, a proven Stanley Cup Finals goalie who has something to prove. You know what I mean? Hopefully this is reignited. Maybe this is reignited the flame on his smoking puck. Wouldn't that be nice? So I just see Stuart Skinner as this huge X factor, improving this already playoff bound team. Well, thank you so much. Let me know in the comments section, what do you think about maybe this? Does the NHL perhaps need a division reformat? I think that what teams deserve to be with what teams geographically. Let's foster rivalries in a league. It's going to be 34 teams soon, probably 36 by the end of the decade. In all realistic, by 2030, how's the NHL going to look? We'll be here for it all together, watching the Smoking Puck, watching hockey every year, and getting into it. Lace them up, like that fire, and smoke that puck. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you with more Smoking Puck. Ciao. Bye-bye.